to Happy Hour with Kass and Glenna. We are all over the world. There's translators in all sorts of different languages. I'm really excited about this, but it's a happy hour for your body. What is your ask in 2019 for your body? Well, hi, Kass. How are you in Rome? You looking beautiful.
Thank you, my darling. We were just freezing, but you came right on when you said you're looking beautiful. Isn't it funny how we hear what we want to hear? Yeah. How are you doing today, lovely?
I'm fabulous. It's morning here in San Francisco. It's wet and rainy and wintry. So my happy hour is coffee.
Awesome. My happy hour is a nice cup of tea because it's really cold in Rome where I am at the moment. But I just got back from Brazil, and our body, where's your body? Like, your body's been traveling around a bit too, and you've been in San Francisco. Where does it like to be? Does it take you a while sometimes to get your body accommodated or comfortable with a place?
Actually, my body does pretty well traveling. I'm, pretty much when I land, I'm good to go.
Yeah.
I let me and my body have a little conversation about where we're at, what time it is in the world, and receive the energy from the entire planet.
Yeah.
That's pretty much now all I really have to do to not create any difficulty with the traveling. My body likes the planet, so anywhere it's on, it's home.
Yeah. What about the actual flight stuff? It's so funny because so many people say to me, "Oh my goodness, that must be really tiring." And I just smile at them and say, "Puck and pod, puck and pod. Don't listen, buddy. Don't listen, buddy. It's you enjoy the travel. It's not tiring for you."
Yeah, I do.
And
Well, I mean,
sometimes I really look forward to getting on a plane. Doing that.
when I get upgraded into a lay down bed for long haul flights, I'm very comfortable in those. And we have conversations. There's this great access tool called Who Does It Belong To, which many of you may know, and some of you may have been the first time you heard it. But who does it belong to? Most of the thoughts, feelings, and emotions aren't yours, and the stuff you feel on airplanes, you're in this tight little tube flying across the planet with all these other bodies, and so much of what you perceive in your body isn't yours. So who does it belong to can be something I will say often during a plane flight. If I feel uncomfortable or antsy or anxious, there's a little turbulence, and I'm like, oh wait, is the plane okay? Yeah, the plane's fine, just a little bumpy ride. Who does that belong to? And those go away.
Yeah, Hadassah. Yeah, I'm glad you said that. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
I think we can silence Hadassah.
Yeah, I'm looking to mute them.
Mute Claudia. Exactly. There we go. I just muted him too.
Okay.
I'm so glad you said that because it's funny. Sometimes you find yourself, right, with your body, hopefully,
Mm-hmm.
in a situation like on a plane, there's people arguing beside you or crying or whatever that is.
Mm-hmm.
And your body perceives the energy of that, right, and starts getting excited too. And this happens even when you're in traffic, right? You're in traffic and you want to go and you would like to sometimes explode, but it's like, I'm going to be here for a minute. So body, how can we have ease with this, right? And really calm your body down, and your mind down so that you can be the space and be there patiently without getting agitated. And sometimes that shows up on planes waiting in line, right?
Mm-hmm.
To get on the plane, even if you have the priority line or something, but you still have to wait or something. And it's like, okay, this situation, I can, work with the elementals and change it, but let's be in a space now where we're at ease with it, right? So
Yes.
that talking to your body and having more ease with it, and the event, that the time, it's so much more enjoyable and agreeable instead of being like, come on, move, get out the way, can't we get on the plane?
Yeah, especially if they're delayed. So Kass, that's great. Like, I love that. So how do you have that conversation with your body? You know, I mean, how do
Yeah.
we have a conversation with our body? What what kind of things do you say to it? How do you say to it? Are you thinking these thoughts? Are you just, you know, how do you create that space and ease for you when you're in a, you know, those kind of like traffic, crazy
Yeah.
lines, anywhere actually, just waking up in the morning, sometimes we can be agitated and weird, and we may say, who does it belong to? Or that may be a tool we just got that can change it. But what other, like, what else?
Yeah, it's almost like there's like this, the core, right? There's like the center for me, right?
Mhm.
So it's even starts with your head, your third eye, no, down, throat, stomach, chest, stomach, right down. I go in there. I go in there and visit. And it's almost like you've got a boiling tube and you just start cooling it down. You know what I mean? Just like, because that's where it starts. It starts bubbling up. You just start cooling it down and then spreading it out, spreading that coolness out, right? Rather than letting the heat and agitation, get your whole body going. Thank you for the question, because that's exactly what it's like. It's like, oh, okay, come on home now. Come on home. Breathing helps a lot. Bring that heartbeat bring that heartbeat into rhythm with our body, and then I can deal with it. Yeah.
Oh, I like
And
that.
yeah, yeah.
I
What
like
about
that.
you?
Well, when you said, you know, I go in there and I just want, like, so you are not the same as your body in that conversation. You are this infinite being. Like, we're infinite beings, or if you want to, you can choose to not be an infinite being, but I think most people in the chat may prefer the choice of infinite being. That's where I'm asking most of the time to be infinite, not limited. The infinite being and the body that we are in communion with and creating with on this planet are both can have points of views, and they're creating together. We have our body and then the big infinite being that we are. And yes, like I often will say to people, like, you increase your awareness of the space between the bodies, but that's like coming in here. I have become aware of my body more. I increase my awareness, and then the expanding out to my entire, as big as I can get, the whole planet, possibly, or even beyond that, expanding out so I'm aware of all of that and my body. And then that agitation becomes so much, so small in the
Yeah.
space that I actually am, that it's less of an impact. And from that place, it's so much easier to talk to your body.
Yeah. I mean, it's the hysteria, really, that hysterics. Like, if we are, and I call it connecting, with the 7 steps, I call it connect with you first, because we can expand out rage too. You can expand out anything, right? So what is that energy you'd like to expand out? And reclaim that, you know what I mean? Because otherwise you get bubbly, you get hot, you get steamy, and you get agitated, and you get aggravated, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that, who does this belong to, is great. You recognize that it's not yours, but try whatever works. That's what
Whatever.
you know what I mean? Whatever works for you. I was just listening to a Access Certified Facilitator call with Pam and with Ann Maxwell, and they were talking about Access Talk.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really quite funny. It's like that. Who does it belong to? If that works for you, use it. The
Right.
same energy, right, is recognizing, is it yours? I
Mm-hmm.
love, Glenna. I use that story all the time with Roisin. Said, I don't really get that tool. Who does this belong to, Mom? I mean, I talk about it in school. I just don't really get it. And
Yeah.
and you and you said to her, well, try asking, is it mine? Oh, that's so much easier. I can do that. Do you
Yeah.
remember that?
It was yours or someone else's. Yeah, it was actually a tool that Gary had given me, because who does it belong to wasn't quite working as well with her. She was little. She was like 3 years old at the time. She's now 15, so it was a couple of years ago. So yeah, yours or someone else's. That one actually I use more. Who does it belong to also? But, like, is this mine? Is this even mine? Great tool. Like, you're frustrated, angry, scared, whatever the feeling or emotion or even a pain in your body. I use it probably most with that. Is like, God, is this mine? Is this even mine? Yes or no? Yes or no? What's lighter? You'll be amazed if you do use this tool, guys, that it's almost never yours. I mean,
Yeah.
it's so rarely ever ours. We're just these amazing psychic beings, and our bodies. are where this information comes to us. It's our bodies that are giving us information. I mean, it would be kind of a cool thing if you were in a big crowd of people and someone was agitated or afraid because there actually was something to be afraid of. Like if there was something actually going on in a big crowd of people, someone noticed it and you perceived that, that would actually be a really valuable thing to have. It's not mine, but is there something I need to be concerned about? Oh my gosh, there's like buffaloes stampeding through the city. I don't know. It's like, and I don't see them yet, but someone else does, and I just got that energy. This is actually, you know, that the who does it belong to, we talk about it like it's a terrible thing so often that our bodies perceive everything around us and give us this information of so much about what's going on in the planet and the people around us, like it's something bad. But what if it wasn't a problem? What if it's actually an ability and a gift? And how can you use the way your body talks to you to your advantage? Like I work with bodies all the time and teach classes, Kass and I both do. And that information that we get from the bodies in the room, we use to create the class. Because we know it's not ours, but our bodies. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, I just want to say, it just, you know, flirting, right? And sexy and picking up people, right? So if you really, if you're at a bar and you're really turned on, you can actually tap into the energy. Am I turning him on? Am I turning her on? Is she liking me? Is this turn on mine? Is it hers? Is it his? Right? And so and just like that, who does it belong to? We're picking up, is it mine? We're picking up on people's thoughts, feelings, and emotions. We're also transmitting them, right? So that awareness of what nervousness is, or that you might want to communicate to someone who's across the room and they're getting ready to be hit on the head with a, you know, with a light bulb that's falling. Can you transmit that to them? And can you transmit sexy and turned on to someone?
Ooh,
you know?
I like this. Yeah, I mean, there are when you start getting the amazing ability our body has beyond this reality, like what we're talking about, what you can actually create is pretty amazing, off the charts kind of. I was in a plane. We've been talking, Kass and I are in planes a lot, so we're talking about planes. But I was in a plane and I wanted the person sitting in the window seat to open their window. And I was like, they wouldn't open the window, and I didn't want to reach across and ask him. I was like, how can I get him to open up the window? What's it going to take for him to open up the window? And I was saying that, and he wasn't hearing my request. And I was putting into his head the thoughts, oh, I should open up the window. That wasn't working. And I just went in like energetically with his body and moved his arm. I was like, okay, I'm just going to ask his arm to open up that window. And about 2 seconds later, he reached over and opened the window right up. It's like, whoa, what else can we do? And he was smiling. I think he probably got a great view. It was beautiful outside, and I wanted to see us landing on the plane because I do love seeing what's outside of the planes. So it was pretty cool. So what can you, if you know it's not yours, and you know that you can actually give information to other people with your body, what could you create on the planet? What could you change?
I'm so happy for this cocktail hour, happy hour. And because exactly what I love talking about bodies with you. It's just always been fun. But exactly what you talked about, going in and moving his arm, exactly matched the energy of what I was talking about sending the vibe of flirtation.
Yeah.
Sending the vibe of being turned on. So how much was feeling that, and it was like, I got to do something. The only thing I can do is
open this window.
Open the window. Exactly. Yeah.
And how can people use this actually during sex? You know, I mean, how can you be with another body intimately that way and let your body let their body know what would be fun for you or what would be fun for them? You know, what could that change in your sex life?
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of times if someone's not being with our body, touching our body in a way that feels good, we go into a little bit of defense reaction or close down, right?
Or piss off.
Piss off, exactly. The same thing we're talking about, waiting in a line, getting frustrated. Yeah. So if you go into that cool down, right, and that space and tap into their energy, you can actually invite something. You're more potent. You have more access to your potency and your playfulness, and your ability to invite them to something else. And
Mm-hmm.
this is what the joy of bodies and playing with bodies and having a body is all about. Like what you can really tap into. I've just found that I don't know what just means, if it's this year, last year, 5 minutes ago, actually, but more and more I find it that even when you're getting sneezy or you're not feeling well or you've got a pain or you've got something going on, when you're in reaction and resistance to it,
Yep.
like trying to get through it, you know, trying, oh, come on, nose, you're not going to run. I was sneezing a bit today. And I was like, oh my goodness, I've got my cocktail hour with a happy hour with Glenna. I don't want to be sneezing. That's not a question,
No,
first of
that's
all.
not a question.
It's not an invitation. And
Mm.
so I was in resistance a bit. And I was like, okay, I know this. I know that resistance is not actually going to bring about what I desire. So what if I relaxed? And that's the same thing, tapping into that center, right?
Mhm.
Expand it out from that space as opposed to trying to change it forcefully.
Well, that never works very well with our body. We're
Yeah,
all really good at trying to change things forcefully. We've been doing that lifetime after lifetime. And we all know it doesn't work very well. So what if there
yeah,
was a possibility that actually, try it out? It's not going to hurt anything if you went and increase your awareness, become more space. And, you just brought it being, that's not a question. The question changes everything. Questions change things. Answers never do.
yeah,
Resistant, reacting, or aligning and agreeing with any point of view. I mean, that thing about, you're talking kind of about sneezing, stuffed up, cold. Once you even say, oh my God, I have a cold, or I'm getting a cold, you've just aligned and agreed with a point of view that may have nothing to do with what your body's creating. Sneezing
exactly.
is actually information often. Sometimes it's because there's something that your body doesn't want to smell, or you've got pepper up your nose, or something like that. But sneezing is actually something your body's telling you about something. It
Yeah,
may be, for me, sometimes it's just the energy, it's the energy of maybe an entity just walked past me in a building. That energy, or not that they walked, but floated by. I got the energy of an entity, and my body can sneeze. Or it can be someone else's thought, feel, emotion, someone else's sneeze. It's like, is this even my sneeze? Is my body just perceiving some other body who's got nose irritation? But being in the question, like, what is this body? What are you telling me right now? What are you telling me with the sneeze? What's going on? Are we
and you can't
creating?
fake it. You can't fake that. You
Yeah.
can't fake the question. Like, oh, come on, how does it get any better than this? Come on. That's not the energy. Come on, what else is possible with your body? Come on.
No, you
Of
can't
the
take a question.
question.
But it's like being a question from a curiosity. And I found over the years, so much has changed by being actual curiosity, like truly, body, what is this? You're showing me this weird thing in my back that I would have said was a pain before, but really, what is this, body? What are you showing me? And sometimes it can take days, months, weeks, longer for me to actually get the awareness of what it is. Because it can be sometimes so far beyond my reality, in the context of my reality, that I have to go so far, so big out to perceive what it's speaking to me about.
Yeah.
We have a
But
question in the chat.
the willingness to do that, Glenna, is what's so much fun. You know, Glenna and I, for people listening, have
Yeah.
known one another over 10 years. I can't remember how many more than 10, but let's just say it's been over 10 years. And always had so much fun with the questions
Mm-hmm.
that asking about body. And it really, I mean, I made a little video. I don't know where that video is. You saw it. I put it on Facebook and then it went away. But really, it's been an inspiration for me with bodies, playing with you all these years
Yeah.
because of those darn questions that are never conclusionary. And so many people ask in the body classes or on the chats that then get created after the body class. This is what's going on. What's the answer?
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
And that question, the invitation to question it and tap into what you know is just is priceless. Go
we've
ahead. I'm sorry.
we've just grown up with coming looking for answers and conclusions with our body. That's the way the medical system is. That's the way our parents were. If you had a sniffly nose when you were a kid, your mom went, "Oh my gosh, you're getting a cold." That was the only answer we ever got. So there's So your point of view creates your reality. And if that's the only point of view you've ever seen, is if this is going wrong, you go to the doctor, they give you a diagnosis and they give you a prescription, or you go to the chiropractor or your naturopath. All of these different professions are looking for answers. You've been trained that your point of view should be that you should look for an answer. And that's kind of our go-to place. And this is like a possibility of creating beyond our go-to, something that's truly, truly different, to ask a body what this is and being open to any possibilities. I mean, I remember I had this knee pain years ago, which I love this story because it changed me and it showed me that my body is one of my greatest facilitators. Like truly, it can facilitate me better than anyone. And I'd been ending a short relationship I had that was not going too well, and it was just ending. My kids were young and needing a lot from me. And I was like, the knee and the word need, and they are kind of sound the same. And I was like, body, or, what is this? And then I was like, what do I need? What am I pretending I need? That if I could just have it, could get rid of this expletive knee pain, because it was excruciating from this reality's point of view. And every time I asked the question, my knee pain would disappear. It was just gone. It'd be gone for a couple hours, a few minutes. It just would disappear when I asked, what am I pretending I need here? And I got all this information about needy, who was needing me, who I was being needy about. And it took 3 days of asking the question. It would go away, it would come back. I'd ask it again. It would go away, it would come back. I would ask it again. But at the end of those 3 days, I was as needless. I was so needless that I didn't even know you could possibly be that needless in your life. And I was like, this was from my body. My body showed me this. If I had gone into anything about this reality, I would have went to an orthopedist or somebody, got an MRI on my knee, probably been sent in for some exploratory surgery because that's the kind of intensity it was. And there was not a problem in my knee. This was a possibility to change my whole reality. And it was my knee or my body that was gifting it to me. And it changed how I looked at bodies that day completely, 180 degrees. That our bodies are showing us stuff to create more in our life. And there was a question in here in Spanish about, how do you create with your body? That's one of the great ways to create with your body, is to to include it in your life, ask it questions and allow it to facilitate you also.
Yeah, a lot of people ask about creating with, right? Mm-hmm. And what they really mean, how do I use it to create? How do I get it to do what I want to do, or how do I get it to do something for me, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. But when we talk about creating with, it is listening to and receiving your body's ideas too, your body's awarenesses, and your body's perspective on things. And you can substitute the word body for partner. How do I create with my partner? Listening to your partner, being willing to, see things from your partner's perspective and receive your partner's contribution, whether that be a life partner, a project partner, right? And that's how you create together, right? Because it may be, something that you want to do, but if you're creating with someone, right, getting what they want to do, how does that add to your ideas instead of thinking of it limiting them?
Oh, that's cool. There's been a few food questions in here. There was one about chocolate, eating too much. And then there's another one here. What about kids and food? My niece is 3 and she doesn't want to eat. Should I ask her who does it belong to? I think it's her mother's. What can I ask her to eat normally? Also, when her mom is around. So what is it? I would just go, what is eating normally?
Yeah.
What have you decided eating normally is? And what you've decided eating normally is may have nothing to do with her little 3-year-old body. And the same with like chocolate. Does your body, like this is great questions, creating with your body. So you get, I'd love chocolate. I love chocolate. I actually do love chocolate when I love chocolate. Body, would you like chocolate? And if it's light, if your body goes yes, and sometimes it can move forward towards the food. You can put the food in front of you, and if your body leans towards it when you ask, that's a yes. It would like chocolate. If it wants chocolate, my suggestion is go for it. Eat it. If your body doesn't want it, don't bother.
Did you see my response there? I eat too much chocolate. I said, could you ever eat too much chocolate? I'm not a chocolate crazy person, but good chocolate, I really enjoy it. And the thing also is, ask your body to let you know when it's had enough
Yep.
of something, right? And the moment, and how do you do that? If you say, body, let me know when I've had enough, just be silent for a moment and perceive that energy that comes up when you say, when I've had enough. And while you're eating the thing, when that energy comes up again that you perceived when you asked, let me know when you've had enough, then that's the moment. It's letting you know. It's matching the energy that you've asked for. Does that mean you have to stop eating it? No. It just means you become aware that, okay, my body's had enough, and you can start negotiating with your body. I just like to have a little bit more on my palate, please, body. Do you mind? I promise I'll take you for a walk or a swim or whatever it is you want after. But I just want a little bit more on my palate because it's so yummy and delicious.
Yeah, it's funny though, when we're really good at overriding what our body likes. Like we're good at looking for answers. We're good at overriding our body. It's always okay with us doing something it doesn't enjoy. It's been doing it for our whole lives. We were told to eat everything on our plate when we were little, and a lot of bodies did it. You've eaten things your body didn't want. You know how to do this. This is a brand new idea. This is a brand new possibility to actually listen to your body when it is done eating the chocolate, when it's had all the chocolate it requires. Because what you guys got to get is you don't eat. You as an infinite being don't eat. Your body is what eats. You enjoy your body eating, but you don't actually require any food ever as an infinite being. Your body requires food. And I like, what if everything you ate had that joyous, wonderful feel, like amazing, piece of chocolate? I like to say, like, everyone has been really, really thirsty once in their life and drank water. Just got a glass of water when you were super thirsty, or even back in the day when we used to drink out of hoses in our backyard. And what that was like when we drank water, when our body was actually desiring it, and what that feels like in your body. What you sense from your body during those moments when you actually listened to it and allowed it to have that kind of joy with eating, with walking, anything we're doing. And it's like, what if we could have that with everything we do with our body? And the way to start to get to that place is to start getting aware of your body, what it's asking for, and when it doesn't want things.
Right. And if you ever get thirsty, you are aware of your body.
Yes,
If you
exactly.
ever have to go to the bathroom, you are aware of your body. You are already in communication with your body. So what if everything were that easily distinguishable, you know?
Yeah.
It's funny you're talking about thirsty, Glenna. Today, I was thirsty. I was in a meeting, and a lot of us are working a lot, and we make our body wait. My body wanted water, and today, 4 times, I don't know exactly which one of those 4, but 4 times I was like, no, hold it, I'll be right back. And I went and I satisfied what my body desired, right? And look, it's not sneezing, it's taking care of me because I'm taking care of it. So in what way could you take care of your body, nurture your body so that it can nurture you and your experiences and you can create together? Yeah.
Yeah, greater than you ever imagined. What way can you do that greater than you ever imagined? Because a lot of this is outside of our imagination. It truly is. Um, Anything else about food? Oh, with the 3-year-old kid. Start asking these questions of the 3-year-old. I asked my youngest when she was that age what her body wanted to eat. Does her body want that? And sometimes I would just ask my body to tell me about her body. She did live in my house. I was pretty aware of her. Is her body hungry? She had a whole huge period of time when she was 5 or 6 where she ate ice cream, and that's all she wanted: breakfast, before dinner, after dinner. And it started freaking me out. It's like, okay, this is way too much ice cream. I know I do access, but this is beyond ice cream. Just nobody could ever want this much ice cream. Wasn't a question.
Is right.
It was not a question. And I was like, okay, Truth, does her body want this ice cream? And it was a big, big yes. It was huge, yes.
Yeah.
And I was like,
That's what I wanted to say. Ask the little girl's body, right? Because we do go into that, and they change it. Major food groups and how much of each you're supposed to have in a day. Some
yeah.
bodies really want a lot of salt. Some bodies really want a lot of sugar. Some bodies, want a lot of liquids and don't want food in certain moments.
And it
And if we
changes.
don't, go
It
ahead.
changes every day, every
Yeah.
minute, what it would like. Yeah, it was funny that the question that I'd asked her about the ice cream, she ended up, I asked what it was about the ice cream, you know, and it was calcium. She was
Yeah.
doing a big old growth spurt, getting taller, and her body desired a lot more calcium, and that's how her body wanted it. And I was like, good on her. That's a great, love that.
Yeah.
Someone just said,
We play
how?
so much with these questions, Glenn, I wanted to say in our classes. We're going to be doing a body class in Paris together. Again, it's been a year and a half. It'll be almost 2 years, right? And
Yeah.
the questions are so much fun, you know, because people love the questions. I give them lots of questions. And we give questions from different angles, sometimes the same angle. And I just love the questions. Remember to ask your body questions and perceive the energy of the yes or the no, you know?
Someone asked in the thread, how could I know it's my body answering and not my mind? That's a great question. And you have to start practicing. This is a skill that you learn. This is a muscle you will start to build, but you can't build it at all if you don't start asking. You'll get a yes when it's not a yes. You'll get a no when it's not a no. And you'll be aware afterwards that, oh, that didn't quite work out. I guess it wasn't my body that wanted another piece of chocolate because that one really didn't taste very good. And now I don't feel great. You go, okay, so that I didn't quite get the right yes or no in that moment. It wasn't totally correct. Did my body give me information I missed? Where was that? Stay in the question and keep practicing it. I mean, I love to
Yeah.
put out a bunch of food in a row during classes, during the 3-day body class or the EMT classes I teach. I'll put out a bunch of food at a break time and have people go up to each thing. And some things, you know, like just a cup that has nothing in it, things that you know your body doesn't want to eat, and have the people go up in front of each thing and ask their body yes or no, does it want that? You'll start to get aware of what your body's yeses are and nos. And the more you acknowledge it and thank it, like, oh my God, thank you so much, body, for gifting me that information, you'll get better at it. It'll become easier. And yes, Kass just said that one. You can talk about truth. I love adding truth to questions.
Yeah. The truth, you add truth in front of it. Usually, you know, your mind's like, oh, no, not the truth. If you ask that, do you want that? Buddy, do you want that? The mind's like, haha, let me get in there and play. And then you say truth, and the mind's like, oh, no. And you can also ask truth and stand up. That does work. Your body does move and show you. If truth will that choice contribute to you moving forward, and usually your body actually moves forward when it's something that will contribute to your forward movement in life. And you know, it can be so small, but all our lives are composed of all of our choices. Every choice creates. So even if it's, you know, go right or go left, right? It's going to contribute to something. So try it with small questions that aren't so significant, because when it's significant, we do get tricky with ourselves, right?
Mm-hmm. We can override our yeses and nos. And that's a choice too. Like you can ask, like, what would it take for me to know what's true for my body? You can make a demand, and no matter what it takes, I am going to have awareness, more awareness about what my body's gifting me, what it's talking to me about. I have made that demand. Now I gave my body permission to show me when it didn't want to eat anymore. To just show me. You
Yeah.
have whatever you want to do, you show me. I had a weird little meal that not long after where I swallowed some food or started to. Beautiful dinner I'd made myself, and it was had enough, and I took another bite and it was back in my mouth. The food was like, not like I threw up or it chucked, it just went from being in the back of my mouth to the front. It didn't swallow. My body was like, no, you told me to show you,
Yeah.
here you go. And then I was like, oh God, don't do this in a restaurant.
You know, that shows up for me with I've got these huge vitamin C pills. I mean, I don't know why they're so huge, but often, like half the time, you know, I ask my body, it says sort of yes, sort of no, but I take it and it will not go down. It literally will not go down. And I'm like, okay, body, I got you. I got it. And so, yeah, what are you forcing your body into that it's clearly not desiring? And yeah, go ahead. Go ahead,
That's
honey.
a really good sign. No, go ahead, keep going. What are you forcing?
Yeah, no, I mean, we were talking about this before. We talked about it on the radio show too with Dr. Pat, that we are infinite beings with bodies and minds, and these conversations that we're talking about, these questions that we're talking about, allows you to be an integral being, if you will, with enjoying your body and enjoying your mind also. As Glenna and I, have shared this point of view that our cognitive minds have actually been a contribution to our lives. So we're not about throwing them away. We're about knowing when to give them a little rest and allow your body to actually help you out. So we are not separate from our bodies, right? But they are, parts. Like when you wear a shirt and a pair of pants and a nice pair of shoes, right? It's not separate, you're dressed, but one's a shirt, one's a pant, and one's a pair of shoes. So having them be in harmony and in line. I live in Italy. We're into fashion. It is a dialogue you can have also with your mind, body, and being.
I love that. Yeah, the harmony. What would it take to have more harmony with our bodies? To receive the contributions our bodies truly can be to our lives and our living, our reality, and everything we're creating. If you could receive this, and it is about you choosing that. We can talk about this all day and about the amazing thing that happened to us when we've chosen this, but truly, you have to choose it. You have to make the choice. Like, what would it take to change this? What would it take to have a greater communion with my body?
Yeah,
And never
Julia.
make yourself wrong. Yeah, I saw that question. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I said,
I think it's probably what would it take for me to be more conscious of what my body's saying, right? Of what
more
my
aware
body's
of, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. If someone can remember that, you can please put it in the chat, because that was too many 10 seconds ago now for me to remember.
Oh, yeah.
I apologize. I love this one. I see the screen. It's Mr. Gula, who's got the champagne bottles up, and there's a bunch of people in the room. Hi, hi.
Oh, always, always.
That's awesome. I hope I said the name right.
Julia, yeah.
Gula. What else, Kass? So
Yeah.
we didn't even talk about, like, Kass and I are both 3-day body class facilitators, for those of you who don't know. And for quite a while, we've been traveling all over the world teaching this class, and we have that one coming up soon in Paris that I'm so excited about together.
And it's right before, it's March 19, 2021. Beautiful Ilham's hosting us there. And this will be my third year inviting people to play in Paris with me with these classes. And it's right before Gary Amazing Douglas has the ABC, the Advanced Body class. These are Access Consciousness classes we're talking about. I think I might have done my first hosted my first body class besides Gary and Dane with Glenna years ago. And it wasn't a 3-day body class. It was this Maya fascia work that she was doing. We did it at a spa in Rome.
Oh, it's fabulous.
Yeah, and it's we did some unwinding in that class, and just the idea of someone unwinding in my arms and putting their whole weight on me, I was like, oh my goodness. And and so Glenna walked me through that. And so this new class, and then you did the 3-day body class facilitator, and then you did some essay work, which the amazing Susie Godsey developed. And now you've developed, finally, thank you, this EMT, energetic manual therapy, which is a combination of everything you know and be and are, and you give it so gracefully. So I'm really excited about this class we've got coming up in Dublin.
Yes.
January 24th, 25th, 26th. And then my birthday is on the 28th. If anybody wants to come and, do a little EMT and then celebrate my birthday with me, that's fine.
I do. How fun in Dublin. You guys, you talked about, places on the planet. And there are some places my body truly loves to be. It just gets really happy. Like the communion I have with the earth in certain parts of it is just amazing to me. In Dublin or Ireland, that country is one of them. Just when the plane starts to get close, my body starts to vibrate and kind of smile from the inside out. So, and my daughter lives there too, so I'm very excited to go and do a class there. EMT class, one of my favorite classes. Yeah, my 25, 30 years of working with bodies, using the access tools with bodies, everything I have from the body class and the class that was teaching and kind of developed for the SE for Bodies, it grew out of that 2-day class. And it's a 3-day class that gives you amazing manual therapy skills. You'll learn some great, there's skills that all the years of working on bodies, the ones that create the greatest results and that are not difficult for people to learn. You don't need to have years of some kind of a body work practice. You can be anybody. My children did this stuff when they were little, and learn stuff. So you can go and start working on bodies in a totally different way using the energetics and everything we've been talking about. Truly, it's about asking, how do you work on bodies, and ask them what they know and know what you know and contribute the amazing energies and abilities you have. And some of that's from, the years of teaching a 3-day body class. One of the things the 3-day body class gives us, which Kass and I both recognize, is this: you can start to access energies and abilities and talents that only you have with your body that can change and contribute to other bodies and the entire planet, because it's, being you changing the world, and that's partly your body, is the being you part changing the world. And the body classes start you to open up what's possible. And I'm just taking that out to this different kinds of manual techniques so that can be added in. And I'd love every body worker in the world to know a little bit about this work, because I see the results it creates with people. It's so empowering to bodies, what I'm seeing over the years teaching it and the feedback I'm getting.
Yeah, we just did this energetic manual therapy class in November in Vienna, and the class was, over half the class were Access certified facilitators and some 3-day body class facilitators. And just, I love it when people are willing to increase their knowledge and their prowess and their dexterity, and one of the things and that's one of the things that both the body class does and this EMT class does. And one of the things I love about your work with bodies, Glenna, is that you put it in people's face that they know. There's never this, I've been working on bodies for 35 years and therefore I know. You're always like, yeah, you just do this, watch, and you see them change. And you say, you just got that. Yeah, so what do you know? Like right in your face with it. I really love that. Because people leave those classes, and I do that too in a different way, but people leave those classes almost like, okay, I got a toolkit, I got more tools in my toolkit, and they go out and do it. Really quite transformational. I know there's some peeps on the chat that did. So anyway, January 24, 25, 26 in Dublin. I'm sure there's lots of other places, and I'll be at some of them too when I'm not working or playing in Brazil with my friends and husband. But come play in Dublin if you'd like, or tell people about it. If you know people who love working with bodies or would like to have more comfort, more confidence, okay? More confidence working with bodies, right? Have them join us, because we give that.
Yeah. Yeah, I loved what you've done with bodies, Kass. I know that when you did the body classes with me, and I was like, you need to do this. You need to be a body class facilitator. And you're like, what do I need to do that for? There's people doing it. And I could just see this joy you had with bodies and this willingness to know that you knew that, and you didn't come from a bodywork background like I did. You were, and I mean, you have an amazing background and career that blows me away. And you're one of the best connectors I have ever met to this day. Connectors being someone that will share information with everyone and tell everyone what's amazing and about them and what is amazing about the world and what's going to benefit and create if they choose these other things, and giving them this choice of possibilities, which will create more. And I've seen you work for so many years with this, and I'm just still like, oh my gosh, Kass said to call this person or go there, and that's exactly what changed everything when I did. But you didn't have this background for your life coming in at this wasn't with bodies, and you were so excited about, you would ask so many questions in class. You wanted to know so much. You wanted to know what you knew. And he's saying that is the most That gives me more joy when people access what they know, that because it creates a in the world that I perceive, and the joy of that knowing when people know that they know brings me more joy. So yeah, I'd love people to know
Yeah,
it because it creates more on the planet. Why wouldn't you? But I saw that
absolutely.
you jumped in, you became a body class facilitator, and you have rocked the world with the body class. I am so
Yeah. Yeah, I'm grateful too. And one of the things about these classes and us even being, I mean, we'll be facilitating together in March in Paris, right?
yay.
And for the ABC. But just being in a class together, we're still interacting, so with the AMT thing. And one of the things that came up with this last DMT, well, my first DMT class, energetic manual therapy, um, and this is really the essence for me of what Access is about, right? And we've both been facilitators for years of Access, is empowering people to know what they know, right? But
Mhm.
also, once we do that, then they contribute to our knowledge and our awareness. And we had many moments like that, and those are always in our classes and always in your classes, where in Vienna, where we got to something greater in a conversation, an exploration of a conversation. We had some great peeps in there. So who knows what's possible in
Oh,
lovely Dublin, and what else can open up? As Dane is saying too, there's so much more available now in terms of awareness about bodies.
it's so true. The conversations that I have had in classes recently are, conversations that I never dreamed of that I'm having now with such ease, what people are actually choosing. Someone asked, how do I get the money for the classes? We can end with a little conversation about bodies and money. We kind of touched on a lot of the points of views about it, but money is for your body. It's not just getting to classes. It's the money to buy the clothes you would like, the food that would be fun, the travel you would like, how you travel. It's your body that is the one that receives. You receive the joy from your body of having these things. Um, have your body contribute. And
Exactly. Ask your body. Okay. Yeah. Okay,
yeah,
will you show me the money?
yeah,
Right? Did you see that with McGuire, that film with Cuba Gooding Jr. and right? And show me
right.
the
Show
money.
me the money. Show me the
Show
money,
me the money. Ask your body to show you the money.
and contribute to
Also,
creating it. Yeah,
and not just for this class in general.
yeah.
I love that Gary walks around with. I'm doing actually how to become money with the Golden Lady with Mr. Jula soon.
Okay.
I think that's tomorrow or maybe the next day online. But Gary walks around with these gold coins in his pocket, and now I walk around too with that. And so his money recognizes the vibration. His body recognizes the vibration of gold. The money. Would you be willing to receive the money, not just get it?
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Everything that doesn't allow that. Park and party, girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of the cool, interesting things about money and choice and the things we would like in our life that we don't think we have the money for, we decided we don't have the money for, is that when you choosing is the first thing you do. You choose, and then the money will follow your choice. The money shows up from your choice. You don't choose after you get the money. You choose, and then the money shows up. So if there's something you would like to create that you have a point of view you don't have enough money for, choose it. And it's just like, no matter what it takes, I'm going
Sì,
to go to that class.
appoggiato tanto.
No matter what it takes, I'm going to go on this vacation or buy a house or whatever your choice is. Choose it first, and then allow the universe to contribute to you in this creation. And you have action steps to take, or you actualize things, but the choice is what starts it. Choice creates. Choice creates. And that's shown up so many times for me when I had those point of views, because believe me, I did not come into Access with a lot of money. I was a single mom, 3 kids, did not have money. And I chose some things that were so far beyond anything I thought I could ever afford in my life, like going to a 7-day with all 3 of my kids. And once I made the choice, strange things started to show up. And it still happens. I can have look at my bank account and like, it's like it doesn't create.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, these are the things that I'm choosing. What would it take for the money to show up? But to acknowledge what you're choosing and what you would like your life to be like. How would you like to have your life be? What would you like to add to it? Make those demands, make those choices, and then the money shows up. I must have been, there was hundreds of classes I didn't have the money for, and I went to every single one of them.
Yeah, and when you make that choice, I just want to say, a lot of times people make the choice and then the universe has their back and the money shows up, and then they unchoose it, right?
Yeah.
I just want to say, whatever that is, that you are actually reversing what you've put in motion, or deviating it. Please still be in the question, and that doesn't mean that the money shows up and you can't ask the question and then you get a no. It's no longer light or contributive. But please don't lie to yourself about that in anything in life. This is not just about money. This is also your body. When your body does allow something for you or contribute something for you, please continue on that wave, so that more can show up for you, instead of ignoring it then afterwards.
Yeah. And there's another great question for choice. Like, if I choose this, what will my life be like in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years? If I choose this, what will it create? So you can start getting an awareness of how every choice you make contributes to the future you're asking for. And those choices that expand and get bigger, if I choose this, what my life will be in 5 years, and it goes, whoa. And then you go, if I don't choose it, what will my life be like in 5 years? And it kind of goes, eh. Choose those ones. And if you just do your life from that, if I choose this, from like just choosing to open the refrigerator, get up in the morning. If I choose to get up in this morning, what will my life be like in 5 years? Everything, and look at what every choice you make contributes to your future. And if you're always choosing the ones to create more, your future will be that energy. You're the creator of your future.
Absolutely. And play with it, and allow your body to give you the information you want, and you'll be happier.
What? Who wants that?
You'll be happier, you'll have more fun, and you will never, ever, ever be bored again, because it's the most interesting dialogue, not monologue, dialogue you can ever have.
I love that you won't be bored. That's so cool, Kass. I just had this, like, when I chose to start asking questions with body, coming from a medical profession where it wasn't part of my training. And that was the biggest thing one of the hugest joys is my life got so much less boring. There was a surprise, and every person I worked on, everything I was choosing was a surprise of greatness. Like, things became greater, which was so not boring. It wasn't a predictable life, it was a greater life.
Yeah. Monologues can be boring, and answers can be boring. So when you're in question, that curiosity continues to allow your molecules to move and dance and sing and be happy, not just in this hour, but in every hour.
Just choose it. You may not have a happy moment every day, but if you're always choosing what's it going to take to be happy, you're going to have more and more of it show up. I mean, here's one, like, if you chose happy, what would your life be like in 5 years? It might be a little bit greater, actually. Everyone, they can feel the questions. People are asking those questions.
If it chose, exactly, you feel them, they're coming, right? If I chose happy now, what will my life be like in 5 years? Don't wait 5 years to choose the happy, okay?
Right.
Please.
Well,
That's a question. Why would you wait 5 years to choose happy? Choose that happy now, girl. All right.
Cool. So I'm so excited to see you in a few weeks in Dublin and play with you in Paris. I'm so grateful that we're choosing these things, and I'd love to see people there. If you have questions, where can they get a hold of us?
Yes, you can get drglennarice.com, kassthomas.com, or accessconsciousness.com/drglennarice, or accessconsciousness.com/Kass Thomas. Or you can pop them on Facebook. You can do anything.
Message me on Facebook. Like my Facebook page. I'd love more likes. That'd be fun. And there's an energetic manual.
There's an event on Facebook, both for the 3-day body class in Paris and for the EMT class in Dublin. So definitely check it out. Scream out to the universe, hey, how do I get some responses to my questions? And you'll show up.
Yeah.
Asking you to receive.
Asking you to receive. Yes. Yeah. And it's actually glennarice.com, not doctor yet. My doctor, Glenna Rice, is not quite done yet. I have a new website coming, but my old one, glennarice.com, is still up, and you can message me through there too.
Yeah. Glenna at glennarice.com too. Yeah.
You're in the future.
Yes.
I love the sound.
Yeah. But it's Access Consciousness / Dr. Glenna Rice though, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Good.
Cool, guys. Thanks for coming on, everyone. What a great group.
Thank you.
We'll have the languages sent out. If you registered, we will have your email somewhere in that list, and we will send out this and all of the languages to everyone very soon.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Have an awesome day. And you look so gorgeous. Go out and do something, make somebody's arm move or something like that. And send me pictures.
And all of you in Europe, have a beautiful evening.
Exactly. Kusanam, arigato, and also, oh, hello, Jula, there he is. Yeah, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you for translating. Thank you guys for translating and being on. I hope we weren't too fast. And
yes.
Obrigada. Ciao. Ciao.
Okay.
Ciao. We could take everyone off mute, unmute all. There we go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Merci.
Thank you.
Thank you. Teşekkürler.
Teşekkürler, guys. Bye bye.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Gracias.
Oui, un replay sera envoyé.